Hi, I'm Bruce Burke. We're back with another episode of the AI Bros podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Yay. What's up, guy? How are you?
All right, I'm doing good. What's going on up there in Atlanta? What's going on with John?
We're ready for the heat. Bringing the heat, man. It's about to be a hot one. So I know it ain't gonna get that bad down there, but we're part of the heat bubble. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
90 plus all week long.
yeah. I don't do that well in the heat anymore, and I just saw somebody, a friend on Facebook posted my air conditioning bill is going to give you like $36,000.
That's true. That is true, man. It's like we've been pretty good for the last few months, not having much of a summer rush, but that is over.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely summer right here in Clearwater, Florida, too. So yeah, it's so. What are you seeing out there? What are you reading? Anything? I know you're doing a lot with the event you're going into, but what's going on with the AI that you're working around with?
Yeah. So the let's see. What if I told you one of the biggest tech companies just got sued by its shareholders for over promising on AI? Have you heard about this one?
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm going to let you take that and put it under the arm and just run down the field with that one. I'm going to let you
Well,
run that one.
it's like, when your AI promises backfire, Apple's $90 billion lesson. So Apple shareholders have filed a class action lawsuit as of just 4 days ago. And they're accusing Apple of misleading their investors about Siri's AI capabilities at the conference in 2024. So stock dropped 25% since December's highs, wiping out $900 billion in value, and it has delayed the advancement of Siri features until sometime, hopefully, in 2026.
I tell you, the hits just keep on coming with them. When you have a large company like that, let's call it a giant, right? Let's put it into like human ideas, right? When you have a giant like that, and that giant makes a one misstep like that, right? All it took was, hey, let's kind of push it a little forward where beyond where we have it, right? Is it had to be collective, right? It had to be marketing agreed with this, executives agreed with this, right? Everybody that stood in front of the camera and everybody that wrote the script and everybody that produced the video, because it was a final production, right? There was decisions made, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and they knew.
about stuff, so I don't see where the shareholders are wrong. I mean, you have to
I
protect
know.
your investments, right? So I I don't disagree with them.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to be honest about your AI limitations today in your marketing. And this is a warning for a lot of companies. I see a lot of companies that are making really bold AI claims. It's going to be a very good lesson for the industry.
Yeah, I think it's important. And like when I talked to LinkedIn way back, I talked with a LinkedIn designer before they rolled it out on LinkedIn, when they started, putting Copilot and everything, right? And I told him, I said, a lot of this is just really not necessary. And it doesn't seem like you're going to do a real good job of explaining how the feature works to anybody, and nobody wants to experiment when they're trying to just do a post, right? So it's and she showed me, she's like, well, this is it before, right, and this is it with AI writing it, and it made like perfectly centered, squared, flush plumbed text, right? And I was like, so you made it boring, right? Like, great, and I don't think they liked the way that I gave them feedback, because I'm kind of super critical, right? But they wanted feedback. I gave it to them, right? So that that's the way I see things, right? I just
Yeah.
criticized them again, but yeah,
Well, here's the thing, man. AI is agnostic. AI is it's by default, it's going to write stuff that sounds like AI. That's by default. If that is the output you're getting, it's just because you're not leveraging AI properly. AI could sound like anything you want it to sound like. It could sound like a 4-year-old, you know, in terms of explaining something. It can make uh, typing errors if you tell it to make typing errors, spelling errors, grammatical errors. Like you said, if it's all in perfect spacing and all that kind of stuff, you can get it to not do those kinds of things. And you can get it to speak in natural language. It can mimic anything that you want it to mimic if prompt it properly. So
yeah. I started
there you go.
screwing with VO3 today through Canva, right? VO3 is available through Canva if you haven't heard, folks. But don't think because you're signing up for Canva Pro, you're going to get unlimited access to VO3. You got 5 resolutions a month on the yearly basic plan of Canva. And after that, you're going to go get an API or something. And even with I went and looked up like how should you address VO3, right? And I the camera, the angle, like what's going on, the surroundings, the environment, the character. There's all this stuff, and I produced 3 different videos before I even knew that I have a limit of 5.
Yeah.
I don't read things as I'm going through setups because I've been doing computers for so long. And 2 of them, I asked it to have the robot speak, and it didn't say the words right. And it was a very simple statement. And so I've used up 4 of my 5 already and got one good one, right? So, but it was very interesting to work with and watch it work and see it. It's advanced beyond what I was able to animate out of meta images, right? But it's going to be hard for VO3 to hold its crown. Midjourney just released a new AI, a video AI thing. They're just coming out left and right. Everybody's doing all kinds of things. There's a multitude of tools out there, guys. Pick a weapon and go to battle. I mean, like really.
Yeah, one of the differences, with Midjourney, now that you mention it, I think Midjourney did a great job with its animation. That's what I would rather call it. They call it a video, but you can't, just create from a prompt yet. You have to take a prompt, make an image, and then from the image, you can get it to animate. And then you can use some prompting in the animation to tell it what you might want it to do. Um, but the crispness of the animation inside of Midjourney that we're used to from the crispness of their images is pretty tight. I was very impressed with it. And then once you get one and you animate it, you can extend that animation even longer and then longer and longer. And it turns it into a very uh, good. I kind of like the interface for doing it a little bit more than just starting from scratch somewhat.
and and it probably holds on to the character better. You get the same look and feel of the character down the line through the continued animation. I'm sure also,
Yeah,
right?
not as much morphing.
I got inspired by PJ, the guy we spoke about last week, right? The NBA finals video, and I was like, well, I want to try doing this now, right? I'm interested in this now, right? And I can see right away to generate the kind of stuff that he generated, it's going to cost a considerable amount of money. You're going to have a client. You're going to have the client paying for it, but you got to produce some portfolio to get client, right? So, I'm going to produce a video that's a combination of AI generated, some stock footage, and some live shooting, I think, and combine all three to do a hybrid kind of a video edit.
It's going to be fun. In
It's
fact, a
fun.
lot of people are going to be doing it now because it's in our hands,
Yeah.
you know?
It, and I, like I said, I want to start doing practical applications. So I'm doing an advertisement for the AI voice assistants, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm making a 30-second commercial for a product that I'm selling, right? So it's why not? And I'm just starting rough. Listen, when you're working with a brand new AI, it took me a long time to get used to Meta and how to talk to it and how to evoke, the things. I'm sure it's the same for VO3. I'm sure it's the same for all of them. You got to, get used to them. Then all of a sudden you discover a thing and away you go, right? But, it's all
But
new. We're all learning,
you can see how he spent $2,000 on, on generations for that commercial
Yeah.
because it takes time to get it right. Even though, it can create professional 8-second videos, but you've got to get the right video. And that might take, like you said, those 5 iterations inside of what Canva can go very quickly.
Like that. It was like, oh, you've done 4 already. And I'm like, well, what's the limit? And they're like 5. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah.
And one thing you do not want to do is you do not want to click on any of the samples that they show you. Because as soon as you click on it, it starts generating. So that could take up one of your turns.
Yeah, so take your time and learn how to write it. I posted a little guide on Facebook this morning, something that I found on the internet as to, the scene and the camera, the character, et cetera, right? But, it's out there. Have your AI go search it up for you. Learn how to, properly address, what you're working with, right? And you'll get better results is my input on that,
Yeah, I let Claude write mine. So once you get a good one, a good structure, throw it in one of your LLMs and tell it to write you the prompt to use in VIA. It'll help.
That's funny. I used Meta to actually write the illustrative description, right? Because I'm so used to using Meta to write illustrative descriptions. It's got me now, right? It understands what I'm looking for, right? So my AI's got me now, It's kind of funny statements. Speaking of AI getting you, it seems like there's some controversy about this new Sam Altman and Joni Ive thing. There's a company, their company is IO, and Sam paid Joni, I think, 6.5, but there's a Google backed company named IYO, and they have a thing. I'm going to say it's the thing of this that goes in your ear, and then it's around, and it looks like the MagSafe puck that you use on your right. It's very obviously has some circuits and stuff in it, but I think a lot of it's battery, and it showed an exploded view of the thing, and I don't know if the earbud detaches from the battery to charge. I think it does, but there's a video, and it's IYO. You can find the video. A year ago, the founder did a TED Talk, and he demonstrated it for the first time a year ago. It's been said that both Joni Ive and Sam Altman and other numerous people from those 2 corporations have interacted with this IYO several times in the past couple of years, sometimes concerning looking at them for an investment. It's a Google-backed company. They've always taken a pass on doing an investment. But now, and so this IYO company has now sued them for trademark infringement. And now IO has said, we're not putting out a device that goes in your ear, even though they've done all kinds of research, all the court stuff, right? All the court stuff always reveals like what's going on inside the corpse, right? I just got finished reading all the court stuff points to the fact that they've like studied ears and taken 3D. There was some advice of go take 3D pictures of ears and images and buying all kinds of different headphones from different manufacturers for, you know, because if you got something heavy on the outside of the ear and the only thing that's holding it is something that's stuck inside the ear, you're going to have a, if you got essentially a round battery on the outside of your head, but so there's some controversy around this whole thing.
Well, it just goes to show you, man, even a $6.5 billion deal can fall and fail on simple trademark issues. And right now, that court filing kind of reveals some suspicious meetings and almost identical product descriptions. So it's like, yeah, you took our idea and tweaked it, but we have the trademark on the idea and the name. So this Google X spinoff is probably, it definitely made them pull down all of their marketing,
Yeah,
any marketing or
everything on the
promotional
OpenAI
materials.
website referring to IO and Joni
Yep,
and the whole thing is
gone.
scraped, right?
So
And
you got
Sam
to do
always
your due
said, "Hey,
diligence.
Joni showed this to me," right? Sam's like, "Hey, Joni showed this to me." It's him, it's not me, right? But their publicity guy in the article that I just read, the OpenAI I'm talking about now, their publicist came out and said, one, we're not even releasing anything for a year, and two, the first device that we're going to release has nothing to do with the ear. That's
Bet
what
it
they've
don't
said.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. Shit. Yeah, yeah, we weren't going to do that. It's like, okay, I bet you won't now because we're making
Lessons
sure.
learned from Mark Zuckerberg and the Winklevoss twins. Who's going to put Facebook out first? First one to market, right? I mean, Silicon Valley, Silicon Valley, right? It don't matter, man. These people are not doing AI for the future of humanity. We are all capitalist pigs, folks.
Yeah. And, it's funny. And I'm following this that just happened. There's AI group a couple of AI groups that I was a part of in Facebook, very big AI groups. Like one of them had 350,000 members and it got shut down. Just overnight, all of them got shut down. And it's impacted over like 4 million users of these groups. Of course, there's some overlap. If I'm AI for business over here, AI for business over here, but I actually am sitting back wondering, why did all of these things happen overnight at the same time? And I've come to a real, like clandestine plan by Meta to get rid and scrap all the content that was around their competitors.
You think?
So I can't. What other? I mean, like I said, this is just me making shit up.
No,
But I'm
but
just thinking, it's
I'm
like,
interested.
hey, we're going to scrape all of the stuff or delete all of the stuff that was very, because I mean, you figure it, all these conversations are basically around Chat GPT and Claude because nobody's talking about Meta. You talk about Meta more than anybody I've ever spoken to
I
in the
use it more
AI.
than anybody.
That's what I'm saying, right? And I mean, it's a viable platform, and the only thing that's missing really is uh, awareness. Same with Grok. It's a viable platform.
Yeah.
It's missing the awareness.
Yeah.
So if I own this
All
platform,
the average guy knows is ChatGTP, and they
right,
don't even pronounce it correctly, right? They call it PGG, GTP, PB. They call
right. And if I
ask your
own the
Uber
platform
driver.
that's helping ChatGPT, get its, foot in the ground, then I can just turn that off. And maybe that's what they did. They're like, you know what? Flick, switch, and now all that traffic ain't going to ChatGPT anymore.
Well, I know Christopher Brock, Business and AI or whatever it's called, Business and Life, and they shut him down like, I don't know, 2 months ago, right? But they let him back up. I don't think they've shut him down again. But at the same time, I was knocked out of that group twice, just like arbitrarily. Now, I know I post a lot of stuff. Maybe they didn't want me posting so much stuff. I don't know. But they said it was Facebook arbitrarily knocking users off. And then
Hmm.
Jonathan, you're talking about AI for entrepreneurs. I think Jonathan Mast, right? You're talking about that group. He just interviewed me like 2 weeks ago, and I have a thing set up to interview him in August. So,
Well, it'll be
and,
a good interview if you don't get it
right?
back.
I was supposed to do it about a week ago, and then I ran long in a meeting and I couldn't. But and then I saw Kimberly West, someone that came in through when you and I started doing this. I think her group has now been shut down too. She had an AI group too, a Facebook group, and it's also been shut down. I think.
Really?
Yeah, right before I came in, because when I was messaging you
Oh,
with the
well,
link,
really?
right,
Oh,
like
so because I'm
very
about to
recent,
say I didn't hear about that yet. Because me and Kim go way back. We've been
what,
friends for years,
right? So
like in
I
real life friends.
it was kind of a just a quick couple of sentences from her. I thinking that maybe it was. I know she has a group, right, and I know she does like regular live sessions and stuff like that. I
Right.
haven't attended
Yeah.
any yet, but
I think that's interesting. Something's going on. That's not arbitrary.
yeah, it's
That's not arbitrary.
I'm less than 1,000 users in my Facebook group with my neural network news, and I think I'll keep it small for right now. I think I'll stop inviting. Like right
Yeah, I'm
now, I'll
about to
keep.
say my little 1,000 people AI group is still up, but I haven't used it in so long. But that's kind of interesting. If
Helps
hers
to
got
mention
shut
Meta
down.
every once in a while, folks. It helps to mention Meta.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not gonna put my plan out there. I got a new plan because I don't want Meta to be catching on. But
Yep,
yeah,
got to
but
got
this
to
is the
Mark. Mark.
thing, man. You've got to really always, if you are building a community and you're using one of these kind of platforms, you've got to understand that if that is your business model, your business is always at risk because you don't own that traffic. It's not your group. It's
No, and
always Facebook's group.
yeah,
Always.
if it's not your website, your blog, right? If it, even like
Even
Substack, I'm
if,
using the Substack, right?
even if,
Yeah. Even unless it's your domain and you're hosting
yeah,
it yourself in your closet, right? Yeah, seriously, I mean,
right.
like, it,
I see. I've been in this game so long. I know businesses that have been shut down just because Google made a change to its search algorithm. So a lot of people have used, Google as their traffic source, and they would do a lot of SEO to show up in Google so they can get organic traffic, and that was their source. But they
that ain't
make a
going to happen
change, and
anymore. Not
suddenly
with AI summaries. That's over now, right? There's a whole new,
that's still number one.
yeah. I've
It's
seen
still number one.
there's a new growing concept of how to get found on the AI summaries, and there's some companies that are
Yeah.
pushing in that direction. They're calling it a. They've already got some three-letter acronyms for the thing, and I've heard them. It's not SEO; it's something else altogether. But
I was watching, what's his name? Neil Patel. He's changed SEO to search everywhere optimization instead of search engine, which is absolutely what we've got to be thinking about. How to show up everywhere. you know, because
And
here's the deal. It's so new. AI search is still so new that it's really not established yet. And so people are going to be able to find ways to hack so that you show up. And as soon as the AI starts getting that people are hacking it, it's going to change. It
on
always happens.
on the Substack, when I'm putting out the post every day, you can put keywords with it, and I'm taking whole sentences now and putting up, like the key sentences out of the articles and stuff, and putting whole sentences in as keywords now because that's what they're looking for is an
Long tail
explanation,
content.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if it works or not, but I'm
Just
not
keep making
overrun
good
with
content.
subscribers.
It's about making content that people are going to interact with, and if they interact with it, they're going to show it to more people.
Yeah. I'm
That's
doing pretty
just
good. I'm over 325 now. Speaking of search and perplexity, it seems that our guys over at Apple have actually been talking internally about acquiring Perplexity. I don't know if they've made an offer, and I don't know if Perplexity wants to be bought, but Apple is
wow,
very interested in them.
wow, that's pretty awesome. I think that would make a good pairing. Apple and Perplexity would make a good pairing. Um, yeah, but of course, as soon as they get acquired, they're going to lose a lot of their access.
Yeah.
As
Um,
long as you're out here and you're just a player, you
they're a,
can people
I
let
think
you
they're
in.
think their last valuation was 10 billion on their last raise, which I think they raised like another 2 billion or something like that. I forget the actual numbers. But if Apple acquired them, as far as like what they'd have to pay for them, it would be Apple's largest acquisition ever. But it would really give them a leg up in the AI space, and they've wanted to do search for a long time. Google's paying them in excess of I think it's like 30 billion. I don't even know, billions of dollars annually.
That's
And
crazy.
do you want to get rid of that so you have full control of your platform, like what we were just talking about, right? I think all of these companies want to have full control of all their platform stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're going to see the great consolidation at some point.
There's going to
We,
be a
we will
lot of
see
money
that.
spent. There's going to be a lot. They're talking about. Oh, by the way, talking about Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm open. He's out there running around with $100 million offers to key researchers from other AI companies. Come join Meta. He got
Yeah,
Alexander Wang right, and now he's trying to get other. As Sam said, nobody at OpenAI is going for it yet. He
yeah,
says my
that's the
people
key
are
word.
yet. I mean, Mark likes to
That's the
sign
key
big
word.
checks. He's got no problem, right? And I mean, he's got Yan, who's a very well respected researcher, but he wants to go faster. He wants to win, right? And it's about who gets there first, right? First to market and the winner is really what it's all about. In that game.
It's a huge game. This is the game basically right now for all the marbles. So,
World control, really, if you really want to think about it, for
absolutely.
king of the world, right? El Rey del Mundo, right?
That's what's at play here. I mean, ultimately, you know. And so it's a crazy game that's going on right now. But we'll
So
see
I
how it plays out.
maybe he's ripping these groups apart to help find some people that he can hire. I don't know. Uh,
Possibly.
you know, um, it's hard to understand and watch everybody's strategy and one read all the news stories that you read about them, because the news stories, everybody's always got their slant on the news, right?
Right.
The blinds can be turned many different ways, right? And you got to kind of, like, read between the lines and all that, right? And really look at all this stuff and read a bunch of different sources. And even in the AI now, where you used to have to do it like in the politics the last 20 years, right now you got to do it in the AI too, because there's so many different strategies and viewpoints and opinions. And like you said, this is for all the marbles, all the
Yeah,
marbles.
yeah. I think, and I didn't put this story down, so don't totally quote me on it, but um, I think that OpenAI just secured a government contract for military AI uh, worth billions, $500 million, something like that. You know, um, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at that headline. I'm like, uh, that probably should have been XAI had not, you know, uh,
Leon.
Trump and Elon fallen out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, that's interesting. A couple of weeks after they fall out, these guys get the contract at
Yeah.
OpenAI.
I think it was not to exceed $100 million is what the contract said. It was one of the articles I
It's a
posted
hundred
in the
million.
newsletter.
Okay.
I think it was capped at 100 million for 1 year, right? His first year,
Oh,
and it's to run models and do military cybersecurity is one thing, right? That's a big play, right? And let's face it, right? There's a lot going on out there in the world right now. There's a lot of sabers being rattled, and everybody's like, tuning up for what seems like an apocalypse or a utopia. I don't know which way it's going to go. Is it possible to have both at the same time?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
crazy. It's kind of
Well,
crazy.
it depends on what day you wake up. You know what I'm saying? Because every day it's something new.
Yeah, it's
Um, Crazy.
always always something. And with this stuff, this is a war being fought with the banks, man. Like seriously, like this is the largest amounts of money ever, right? What's her name? Mira Murati, who just left OpenAI, right? She was their CTO that rolled out a bunch of their products, including ChatGTP and so many others. And she left that whole thing when they fired Sam for the weekend and all that, right? And she left
Oh yeah.
shortly after, right? She started Thinking Machines Lab, is what it's called, and raised $2 billion without even a product from Andreessen Horowitz and others, right?
Just because they want that knowledge share.
And valued at $10 billion, not even sold the first thing, nothing. No
Just
announcement,
let
no
them know.
nothing,
Let them know
man.
I got an idea. I've got an idea.
That's what I'm saying.
Call me.
100 million, 100 million. I'm an AI researcher.
Yeah,
Whatever
call me. Call me.
Mr.
I
Twister,
got
that's
you.
me. I'll work really hard. I swear, Mark. I really will.
For real, right?
I'll even
This
come
is
to
crazy.
California. I'll move there.
Oh, dude, I'll move. I'll buy the houses next door. Whatever you need.
You can't buy the
You give me
house
the.
next to Mark Zuckerberg for $200 million.
I can?
No.
No. Oh well.
Yeah.
Close. I'll
Yeah.
be down the street.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll
like,
stay in your mother-in-law's suite. How about that?
dude, I'll sleep at the office if you give me a $200 million sign on
Exactly.
bonus. $100
Exactly.
million sign on bonus. I'm there. I'm living there. I'll take occasional breaks. That's it. I'll get a little nap
But
in every once in a while.
one more story, man, that I definitely want to get in is that we've got voice AI that kind of really works. So 11 Labs launches 11 AI, and that is a voice assistant that will execute tasks, not just answer questions. It'll integrate with Slack, Notion, Perplexity. Oh, I didn't know it did Perplexity. All right. And Linear for workflow management. It's got 5,000 voice options. supports voice cloning, and you've got free trial right now. So go and grab the free trial because you know that never lasts forever. But right now they need the data. So you can go and sign up at 11.ai. Then that's 11.ai. And I think you should check this out because it's going to give you voice control for project management. So, could project management suddenly go the AI way? Probably. Everything's going AI.
The beauty of this is DBC Technologies, the guy who I'm selling the AI voice assistants, Dennis Wilson. When I did the interview with him, he told me that ElevenLabs is the AI voice company that he uses. Anytime that you've already integrated something and you know it upgrades, right? You get those upgrades. It was already really good. It was very conversational. It was very intuitive. I can see it getting better, but some of the examples I saw where you can essentially type out like, you know, make it a prospector voice from the 1940s or whatever, right? And it will do it, right? I mean, it's for that kind of stuff, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you're going to be able to do it for workflow automation. It's about to be on. So I'm excited about that. And like I said, it's a free trial. So give it a try. I'm setting mine up right now
Oh
as
yeah,
soon as I get off this call.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Before they
miss out
shut
on
down
those
the
free trial, folks. They're giving away a lot of fantastic tools to get you involved and get you using their stuff. And
yeah, so
don't
you
miss
can pay
out.
the so you can pay the fee as soon as it
Yeah,
goes live.
yeah.
But hey, you
Hey, if
gotta
it's
be
good,
on
it's
the you gotta
good.
be on the you gotta be on the front line, and usually it's a good trade-off.
ElevenLabs has a lot of allocates in the industry. They've done a lot of firsts. They've raised a boat ton of money. They're a UK based company, I do believe, but they've done really, really well. Most UK AI companies aren't like really on the map. The US is kind of leading in like breakout AI companies, right? But ElevenLabs is like one of the examples of what's coming out of the UK and really interesting, right? Mistral, they just released a whole new Delio too, right? Over in France there. They've got a whole new agent and it's
And that's
interesting.
open.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an open company. So no Mistral. Been around for a minute, but still hasn't made that inroad into the conversation. It's similar to Meta in terms of like when I usually talk about open sourced, I'll talk about Meta, Minstrel, and there's a third one that I'm always DeepSeek, of course.
They just rolled out some new stuff too and just continue to build on it and build on it. I want to bring something up. I don't like to go too technical on this stuff because I know we don't. You know, some of our users aren't, our watchers aren't real technical. But I watched a video day before yesterday, I think it was, Linus Tech Tips up in Canada, right? Linus Sebastian, and he ordered from China a. I can't keep up with all the numbers, but an older NVIDIA card that they're using, one of the GPUs, and this was a single
Hmm.
fan unit, you know, and now they all got, you know, 3, 4 fans on them, double sided, all kinds of stuff. And what they did is rather than they added a PCB to it, another controller board, and they added a whole doubled the RAM from what you can get from NVIDIA. And essentially, then he took it and put it up against like the OEM stuff, right? And these people are modifying it for a couple of $100 of cheapo DDR5 6 RAM and a little soldering and a little PCB board that they probably had made at PCB way or something, right? A little daughter board that's sitting on next to the thing, and it's outperforming the other one like hands down. So all this sanctions and trade and, you know, they can't get these ones, right?
Right.
Dude,
Doesn't matter.
solder on some more memory. Throw a couple memory sticks on there. That's how they're
Wow.
getting around it. That's how they're getting around and still innovating even with the restrictions, right?
Wow. So the idea that this was a false notion is being proven right now in real time. Or it's not, it's being disproven. That's what I meant to say. Because I
Now,
knew, I was like, they wouldn't be putting out stuff saying, hey, we're using these old chips when they were really important, or finding ways to get to these other chips. I'm like, no, if they say they're using these old chips, that's probably what they're using. You need to figure out how they're using it. So that's interesting.
yeah. And it was very clear. Linus said in the video, right? NVIDIA has never authorized these kind of modifications. This is not an NVIDIA thing, right? These guys are just smart enough to go into a board and figure out what where the controller and the RAM and
Wow.
and they're taking essentially it's surpassing the king of the hill right now, right?
Really?
With an older card, but for specific applications.
Right. Let's be
Don't
clear.
go trying to do this for gaming, because Linus did that because he is a gamer, right? He's like, let me try it for gaming. Let me try it for. It strictly worked best for LLM. It was really like best for that. So it was kind of made for purpose built, I guess is the right word for
That's
that.
crazy.
Right? Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely insane.
Listen,
There you go. There you go. Well, I have a huge week this week, guys. So, like I was telling you before the show, I've got like the biggest conference of the year for our organization at Traffic Sales and Profit. So, those of you that follow, just get ready on my timeline. It's going to be blowing up with stuff, mostly just exciting, fun stuff. I'll cover some of the other parts, but most of it, I'm just going to have fun. So I'm ready. We ready?
you hypnotized.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I got my
love
boy
that
on my
song.
shirt.
Love that intro. Love that intro.
You can't beat it.
Anyway.
You can't beat it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, John has just told me that we're pulling into the station for this week because he's got so much stuff to do that it's not even funny. We got to give him a break. We're gonna let him off a couple minutes early here so he can go do his stuff. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm all in favor of that. So guys, come around next week and hear what kind of insanity is going on in AI next week. Oh my God.
absolutely, man. Thank you so much for being true to this. All of you guys. We appreciate you.
This is the 9th episode. John's put up with me for 9 episodes now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think it's great. I think we're doing great.
Wow. And most podcasts don't get past 6 episodes.
Yeah. So here we go.
Crazy.
Here we go.
We are on the other side. So we're having a 10th anniversary.
We're going to have a 10th anniversary party next week. And I get mad if our clips don't have over 1,000 views now. I get mad at them if I don't have 1,000 views on the clips now. I'm mad at them.
That's crazy. Wow, that's good.
And that's just YouTube. That's the YouTube I'm measuring by, right? That's not everywhere else that we're throwing them up. Yeah,
that's the only one that matters, man.
Subscribe, folks. Subscribe, please. I only have 100. Yes, please. I don't even have 100. I'm trying to get there. I only got to get it to 1,000, and I'm not buying them. I refuse to buy them. I want to make it natural. So please subscribe to me, to John, to everybody. Subscribe if you watch a YouTube video and you like it. Subscribe.
Yeah,
you can always unsubscribe. It doesn't cost. There's no cost. You hit the button.
Yeah,
and ring the bell.
All content creators need that. That's what they need.
We really do. But please, so much love. Enjoy your conference there, John. There's some balloons and happiness for you.
Yeah, you got balloons.
And
you do that, you get balloons, huh?
And there's and now I got another balloon. Yeah. And then
You
I
got to
got this
balloon
ring.
some bubbles.
And there comes the balloons again.
Oh, that's the balloons.
Yes, the
Okay, let me
peace sign,
try.
baby. There you
Balloons.
go. You got to give it a minute.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. There you go.
Okay. I
All
like
right.
that. I didn't know that balloons would come.
Yes. We got it
Now
all
I can
here,
do.
folks, including balloons. There you go. Woo! And
All right, we're
Samsung
out of here.
Unpacked is coming in July. Samsung Unpacked Galaxy coming up July 9th. AI,
You
AI,
going?
AI. I
You
can't go
going?
to. No, I wish. I'm not that journalist anymore. I don't get the invitations to come to those. I used to get all that stuff when I was doing the blogs, but I don't get
Hmm.
that anymore. Maybe,
Yeah, we need to
maybe.
do a watch party. We need to do a watch party. There you go.
There you go.
We can do
Tune
it.
in next week.
All right, guys. Peace.